It won't let me do it. It says you're out of storage.
Nope, we're live. We're live.
We're live?
Yep, we're live. Yep, we are out of storage for those railroad parts in order to redirect the road to that fake town where they're not doing Blazing Saddles reviews. But here we are in the real town where we are doing Blazing Saddles. So here we go.
Good evening, good afternoon, and if the sun is rising where you are, good morning to you. This is the Buttery Show, and I will be your hostess with the mostest for this evening. Jacqueline Amira is my name, and movies are my game. With me tonight, my ride or die, my brother from another mother. Mikey, say hi to the people, please.
What's going on, Buttery Show? It's your boy, Michael Brogdon. How's everyone doing today?
Now, this is a very special edition of the Buttery Show for me because we get to discuss one of my favorite movies of all time. And before I forget, riding with us in the back seat is Boken. Say hello.
Yep.
He's over there riding the invisible pony.
Yeah. I don't know. I just randomly saw a Gundam Style the other day, and I'm like, okay, you know what? We're reviewing a movie called Blazing Saddles. It's a Western,
It's one of my favorites of all
we may
time.
as well, pretend we're getting some giddy up going. And yes, this is one of my top 5 favorite Mel Brooks movies, so I'm glad to be here.
This is actually the first Mel Brooks movie I've ever watched.
Really?
No.
Did you watch it just now, or like have you watched it before, but it's your first movie?
Just now.
Okay.
Now, before we dig into the buttery goodness that is Blazing Saddles, the Mel Brooks classic, I do feel it is my responsibility to provide a disclaimer. I was born in December of 1983. My partners in crime here, I believe, were born either on the same year or after that time. The same could be said for our audience at home. In this film, there are certain terms, innuendos, and phrases that are used that I will not repeat on this show. I am a responsible adult, and if you want to learn it, watch the movie yourself. Now, since I got that out of the way, let's get to the good stuff, shall we? This unique take on the Western movie genre does involve a very clever and very overworked railroad worker who ends up becoming the sheriff of a town called Rock Ridge. Unfortunately for this town, it is in the way of a dastardly plot from Hedley Lamar that involves building a railroad that'll make the town worth millions. In order to get the money, however, they need to drive the townspeople out. Now, unfortunately for them, Sheriff Bart is a very clever man. I mean, would you both agree?
Yeah. Yeah. Some told me like, yo, you gotta keep your eye on this man.
The movie is full of anachronisms from the Count Basie Orchestra playing in Bartown with April in Paris, to Slim Pickens asking the very important question, what in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here? The hero and star of this production, Cleavon Little, was a man of many talents. He actually began his career in the late 60s, and it wasn't even in Hollywood. He starred in the Broadway production of Curly and won both the Tony Award and the Drama Desk Award as well for his performance. As Bart, the sheriff of Rock Ridge, Cleavon has many, many memorable moments, including one that I'm very glad my partner did not duplicate right now with the line of, "Hey, where the white women at?"
Oh, Lord.
One of my hands-down favorite comedic scenes from this movie involves the arrival of newly appointed Sheriff Bart into the town of Rock Ridge that, again, is filled with dialogue I will not repeat on this show. No way, and you two better not either. Particularly those include a certain word that was spoken and muted every time a church bell rang as the sheriff rode into town. Now, even though this word was used beforehand, before Sheriff Bart's arrival, Mr. Brooks, our wonderful director, still figures out a way to make this work and make it funny. Bart, being as clever as he is, pretends he's about to shoot himself, and the townspeople of Rockridge, simple as they are, they all buy it. And they're all about to shoot him themselves. So, I mean, might as well, join the gang. If you can't beat them, join them. What are your guys' takes on that scene?
I mean, I agree with Dave. You can't beat him, join him.
I'd say out crazy the crazy.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say he did that in that part, along with other areas in the movie.
Yeah. No, it's great because, I love how when the hero managed to get his way out of a dangerous situation by doing something incredibly stupid, and yet somehow it works.
Yep.
And I love how when Martin Lawrence tried to do the exact same thing with the movie Black Knight, it didn't work. Yep. And I think the fact that it worked in this movie made the joke work in that movie.
Absolutely. And to be honest, I couldn't imagine anybody else pulling that scene off with the help me, shut up. And he manages to get out of there. This film also does star the equally talented Gene Wilder as Jim the Waco Kid, who eventually serves as a deputy to Sheriff Bard. He's sort of like the unsung part of Blazing Saddles because he's relatively a straight performer. He doesn't crack that many jokes in comparison to the comical co-stars that are around him throughout the film. Mm-hmm. Ironically, he's a drunk, and he gives the most sober performance out of anybody in the cast, hands down.
He does. Rest in peace to the late, great Gene Wilder. No, listen, I was born in 94, but you are my Willy Wonka.
Yes, absolutely.
And my Lex Luthor.
Wait, he was Lex Luthor?
Yep.
Surprise.
In the first four Superman movies, and then in the fifth one they recast him with a certain other actor. I'm not going to say the name of. The one from Baby Driver.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Now, Wilder's character also tends to be a voice of reason for Bart throughout the film, explaining that the simple people of Rockridge can't be persuaded to accept him simply because of a badge and an appointment by Governor William J. LePenamain. Together, the comedic duo fight to save Rockridge from the hands of the evil, delightfully evil, may I add, Hedley Lamar. But the politics and even the Warner Brothers studio lot itself fights back, as only Mel Brooks could fashion in a 93-minute film. Now, here's a fun fact. Cleavon Little was actually not the original actor that Mel Brooks wanted in the role of Sheriff Bart. Richard Pryor was suggested for the role. However, due to his long drug arrest history, Warner Brothers did not want to finance the film with Richard Pryor as the star.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Richard Pryor ended up staying on board as a writer after Little was cast. But yeah, I could see that. I could see multiple arrests being a problem. We have that issue now with a certain franchise. I will not say what it is, but I do have to pose the question. It's been posed by many, many people, including my friends at Bat in the Sun. How hard is it to not get arrested? Apparently, it's hard for some people. Not me, but some, as you see on your news feeds on your phones. Now, another thing, Gene Wilder wasn't the original actor Mel Brooks had in mind for Jim the Waco Kid either. John Wayne was approached for this role initially, and John Wayne turned it down because he deemed it was too blue for his family type image. He did tell Mr. Brooks that he'd be first in line to see the movie. And another actor got cast by the name of Gig Young. However, upon shooting his first scene, we found out that he had alcohol withdrawal syndrome and was unable to continue. Gene Wilder was then flown in to replace him, and ta-da! We have our dynamic duo, the sheriff and deputy of Rockridge.
My favorite scene from Gene Wilder was the part where he shows how great he could shoot. He's like, "Well, what's wrong? I'm actually left-handed."
Yep.
Exactly.
Now, do you two think anyone else could have pulled either of those roles off back in the day in 1974?
No.
No. Like, I mean, like there could be some contenders, but I don't think anyone would play the role as well as he would. But if I had to, but if for some reason something bad happened and Gene Wilder would not be able to perform the role, and I had to do like emergency last minute recasting, I would say Don Adams probably. But I mean, the style wouldn't be the same as the end result of what we got with the Wilder. But I'm just saying, I did do a recast because of unforeseen circumstances that I'd go with Don Adams.
What about you?
Honestly, this was my first time seeing this movie. Like I said,
we're going to talk about this later. You hear that? First time.
So honestly, I can't say, but Gene Wilder, and that to me that was the dynamic duo.
Alrighty. So if you guys are following along with us, please let us know in the comments if there was any other actors that you can picture in the role of either Sheriff Bart, the Waco Kid, or both. Let us know. We would love to hear it.
I think originally they wanted Richard Pryor to play Bart, but
I mentioned that like 2 minutes ago.
Wait, what?
I mentioned that 2 minutes ago. You here with us?
I am. I'm so fixated on one of the later scenes in the movie.
Oh my goodness. Let's keep this rolling, shall we? Now, no satirical masterpiece of Mr. Brooks would be complete without an appearance from the director himself. However, with this particular work, Mr. Brooks outdid himself with a total of 3 on-screen appearances and 2 off-screen appearances as well. He does appear as the cross-eyed, witless, not a clue Governor William J. LePenibane. He also does appear as a Yiddish-speaking Indian chief in a flashback of Sheriff Bart's young upbringing.
Oh, yeah.
He also does appear in line to join Hedley Lamar's thugs dressed as an aviator with a bomber jacket and sunglasses. You don't hear from him much. However, he does provide one of the voices in the chorus boys for Lily Von Stoop's I'm Tired. And he also does voice an angry moviegoer towards the end of the film. I mean, wow. That's a lot of work from one person. I don't know how you could pull that off.
I don't know either.
I mean, my goodness, you're putting the whole thing together. You're writing, you're producing. Now you got to put on all these different hats. This must be how some people, I don't know. I know people that do multiple roles, but I don't know about that many.
With that in mind, I can't wait for us to review History of the World Part 1.
I know! I'm so excited. This is just the first of many films. As you can tell, we are Mel Brooks aficionados here.
Yeah.
I'm just getting into it.
Yeah, we'll fix that. Hang tight. We're
gonna get you like fully immersed until you are one of us. Couple. Other notable celebrities rounding out the cast include Slim Pickens as Taggart, Madeline Kahn as Lily Von Stoop, and actually she received a Best Supporting Actress nomination at the 47th Academy Awards for her role. You also have Burt Gillum as Lyle, and Alex Karras as Mongo, who's not necessarily a who, he's more of a what.
Oh, wow.
And we have a whole town of Johnsons that make up the people of Rockridge itself. Now, Chocolate Rain, you did tell me that this is your first time watching the film. Apart from what I've gone over, do you have a particular scene that stands out, maybe?
Honestly, when the sheriff was delivering like a little bomb, it played the Looney Tunes theme. I'm like, no!
Telegram from Mongo.
I'm like, no! They really brought in Looney Tunes.
I mean, it's a Mel Brooks film. Nothing's off limits. That's one reason why I love it so much.
I'm like,
absolutely.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
What about you, Boken?
God, I love this movie so much, and like I love like all the humor, and it hits really well. And I know people always make the meme that like that Blazing Saddles would not be able to be made today. So I'm
Yes.
glad. I'm glad it was made back in 1979. I think the year was
1974 it was released.
74, yeah, it was definitely like mid to late 70s. But yeah, I'm glad it was made when it was, so it can exist. Because like all the jokes are just straight up bangers. Bang, 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 bang.
It's funny that you mentioned that Blazing Saddles actually came very close to not being released at all.
Wait, why?
When it was played for the executives, there was a few laughs. However, studio heads told Mr. Brooks to dump it and let's call it a loss. However, studio president at the time, Mr. John Cowley, wanted to give it a test run in New York, Chicago, and LA, and be grateful that he did, because that became the top gross movie for Warner Brothers that summer. The world premiere took place on February 7th, 1974 at the Provic Drive-In Theater in Burbank, California, with 250 guests, including Little and Wilder themselves, all watching the movie on horseback. Now, that sounds like fun. They don't do that around here.
No.
Do they do that where you're at?
No, like if you go see the movie The Room, you'd be lucky to see people playing football at the movie theater in tuxedos. But to bring actual horses, that's next level.
Yeah, driving. That sounds like fun.
Okay. All you movie theaters out there, bring back Blazing Saddles for like monthly midnight screenings and let people come into the movie theater on horseback.
That would be fun, but that'd also be that'd be a lot of cleanup. Think about it.
Yeah, I don't care. It'll be fun. It will smell like you're in the movie.
Yeah, I can see that. In addition to the numerous credits Mr. Brooks has for this film, he did write the music for 3 of the Blazing Saddles songs: The Ballad of Rock Ridge, I'm Tired, and The French Mistake. Now, that was a dance I threatened you were going to do if you didn't watch this movie. Now, the choreographer for I'm Tired and The French Mistake was Alan Johnson. I'm Tired was actually a homage to and parody of Marlene Dietrich singing Cole Porter's song, I'm the Laziest Gal in Town, in Alfred Hitchcock's 1960 film Stage Fright, as well as Falling in Love Again, Can't Help It from The Blue Angel. Now, what is your favorite song in the movie? There's so many. It's almost pointless to ask what your favorite one is, because the whole 93 minutes is like my favorite for the movie.
I will admit, I was a little skeptical about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole 93 minutes, I don't care. I love it.
So it's Michael's first time, Chocolate Rain. Now, Logan, when did you first discover the beauty that is Blazing Saddles?
I was already a Mel Brooks fan. I've already seen Spaceballs, To Be or Not to Be. I've heard of the producers, but I haven't watched it yet. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to give Blazing Saddles a chance because, I may as well watch all the Blazing Saddles movies like back in 2014, I think it was. And this movie was just a straight up banger. Again, bang, 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 bang. And I love it. It was really fun. I mean, I can't pick a favorite song, but every joke just hit really well. Like the quicksand, the town greeting, the scene where Waco Kid first shows up, all the way through the limousine in the end scene. Like it was just.
They really broke the fourth wall. I'm like, what?
Yeah, the fourth wall didn't exist in that movie, like at all. None.
None whatsoever.
And I don't think they cared. Actually, this film actually was going to go by another name, and thank goodness that it didn't. It was almost called Tex-Ex. And I could see why they went a different route with it, because it sounds like an entirely different film.
Blazing Saddles was definitely a much catchier name. I'm pretty sure I'm no longer bound by NDAs if a movie came out 10 years ago, but I remember that Seth Rogen movie with Barbara Streisand used to go by a different name. I'm glad they changed the name because the original name was just really not catchy at all. So I do find it interesting that movies went by a different name at one point. But yeah, Tex-Ex versus Blazing Saddles. I think Blazing Saddles is definitely catchier.
I
He
agree
wrote
110%.
that title while in the shower one day. He did say during an interview.
Yeah.
I find that interesting that, oh, hey, let's call it Blazing Saddles.
And I definitely think that sounds catchier than Blue Harvest, just saying.
Oh, Lord.
Absolutely. No, the significance that this movie has had over the last 48 years is remarkable. In 2006, the Library of Congress actually deemed Blazing Saddles as culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant, and it was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry. This movie is also listed at number 6. I'm not sure I agree with its placement in the American Films Institute's 100 Years, 100 Laughs list. I took a look at that list. I did not agree with the first 5. I haven't even seen them. They're not by Mel Brooks.
If you don't mind me asking, what were the first 5?
Oh gosh, I can't remember off the top of my head. That list came out in 2000.
Okay, that list needs updating.
Yes, it does. Oh my gosh. And it's sad that it's been nominated for 3 Oscars and it didn't win any of them, as good as it is. I mean, apart from the best song for I'm Tired, best film editing, and also Madeline Kahn got the best supporting actress nod for her role in that. But they don't make them like this anymore. Don't get me wrong. It's a good thing that they don't, because of certain terms that would not go well today. No, they would not. No. But, and actually, I don't know if you guys have seen the trailers for Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank.
Yeah.
That animated film. That was very, very close to being called Blazing Samurai. And Mel Brooks does voice a character in the film.
Oh, now, yeah, I think I saw that in one of the posters, but yeah, just the fact that you have Mel Brooks and Samuel L. Jackson in the same movie together, now I have to really watch that movie.
And the fact that they wanted to pay homage to it in animated form, granted, none of the jokes are going to be like that movie.
No, they won't, especially since it's going to be like child level, because it is animated, like with talking animals, so like target audience is children, and hopefully they bring their parents with them. So maybe we're going for a PG rating instead of a G rating, but
I don't think so.
But again, like some jokes don't hit as hard if like you're focusing on a child audience.
Exactly. And the way kids are being raised today, no, none of those jokes are going to fly at all.
Really not.
It looks like we got some comments. Let's have a look-see. Okay, Thomas Franco says, hey guys, hello.
Hello.
And we have another from a Mr. Eric Williams. Imagine if J.K. Simmons had a role in
God.
this film.
Was he even active back in the 70s?
I don't think so.
I would say I would love like if they did a remake in the 2000s of Blazing Saddles with just as good comedy as back then. I know it wouldn't fly, but if they made it fly anyways, I could see J.K. Simmons playing the role of the mayor.
Oh God!
Oh my God!
Because his J. Jonah Jameson, Triple J, is like the perfect like stand-in for Mel Brooks' character. So it's like
I want Spider-Man.
It's like that Bart is a threat and a menace. Yeah, and like maybe you could get like Anthony Mackie to play Bart in the new version.
Oh my God! You mean if you're going to put Anthony Mackie in something, you got to put Sebastian Stan with him, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, yeah.
No! Now it's Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
I'm not even going to go into that on this
show. I haven't watched Captain America and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I swear to God, if I end up watching that show and I find parallels between that and Blazing Saddles, you best believe I'm going to go on a Charlie Day style rant explaining the parallels.
I will pay to see that.
I would pay to see that too.
And also, I mean, if you really think about it, like already, like based solely on the trailer, the Falcon is barred because he's the new sheriff in town, because Steve Rogers is no longer around, and the Winter Soldier is his deputy, and not everyone's open to Anthony Mackie being the new Captain America. And let's be honest, Winter Soldier's left-handed. So like already, I'm seeing parallels.
Thank you so much for the comments that we've received so far. If there is a particular scene that we haven't discussed yet of the 93 minutes of glory known as Blazing Saddles, please let us know. We would love to hear your thoughts. And this is, again, just the first of several Mel Brooks movies we will be talking about on this show. I want to cover them all. I don't know about you guys, but there is nothing off limits when Mel Brooks is concerned.
Looks like I'm gonna have to add that to the list of movies I need to watch.
That list is just gonna get longer and longer as time goes
I can't wait till we do the producers, because like if we talk about the remake producers, I can honestly make one of my favorite 30 Rock jokes. A movie based on a musical based on a movie.
Oh Lord.
Well, I hope that we all had a great time hanging out with us today. We appreciate you. And if you have not watched Blazing Saddles, please do it with caution. Do not attempt to repeat anything that is in that movie. I beg you. Because it will not go over well.
Please don't.
Yeah, please don't. We love you. We don't want to see you on the news. Please don't do it.
Or on Twitter.
There too. Yeah, social media is a no. No. So before I pull this tractor trailer over for the day, any last thoughts from my crew?
Honestly, I would see it again. But for the first time seeing it, I'd give it about a 8 out of 10.
This movie is classic and a total banger. I give it a 9 out of 10 because it's just that great. I mean, I wouldn't watch like over and over again because like I want to like savor it like every time I watch it. You know, like an In-N-Out burger, you gotta like enjoy like once in a while. And if you haven't watched it in a while, you end up enjoying it even more because it's like, God, I missed this movie.
I never had In-N-Out, so
it's okay.
Okay, I told you this list was going to get bigger, right? So we got Mel Brooks movies. We got In-N-Out Burger. What else can we add to this?
I mean, we already added Falcon and Winter Soldier. So
yes, we did.
Yeah. So I mean, it keeps getting bigger, and obviously, once Paws of Fury comes out, and we're gonna have to do a review of it at some point.
Absolutely.
We will bring back Blazing Saddles for that review.
Oh Lord.
If for no other reason, the fact that Mel Brooks was in the movie.
And he got to act alongside Samuel L. Jackson. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And for my teammates, where can the wonderful people watching at home find you outside of this show?
Boken, you can go first.
Okay. You can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto. And you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto, where I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order and Sonic Heroes. And tomorrow I will be finishing Dark Story and Sonic Heroes. So be sure to check that out.
And for my brother from another mother, what about you?
You guys can catch me on Instagram at RedRanger2134 and hanging out with the Morphin Network and the Buttery Show Squad.
All the buttery goodness, absolutely. And again, my name is Jacqueline Amira. You can find me on Instagram, all Jacqueline Amira, lowercase letters all together. Thank you so much for spending the time to hang out with us today. We appreciate it. And we look forward to more laughs as we go down the road that is Mel Brooks films. All right, everybody, this has been fun. Say good night.
Can't wait for us to fight some Spaceballs.
Oh, I agree.